Hi, everyone. I'm Coach Green Jean.
And I'm Dr. Doula.
And we'd like to welcome you out to another live e-learning opportunity, an online discussion, paper versus paper. And this is our opportunity again to speak to our young people and our parents as it relates to our 3H pre-apprenticeship workshop. And so you guys know that we have a pre-apprenticeship workshop for young people and for ages 12 to 17, working on developing their crafted talents. And so while we're not having our classes at this particular moment because of our global pandemic, we're using this opportunity again to continue speaking with today's professionals to provide our young people and again our parents with insights and strategies on working within your crafted talent, as well as building sustainable pathways for the next generation. And so we wanted to remind you that if your young person has not signed up on our YouTube page, Coach Green Jean, please go to Coach Green Jean and subscribe, as well as hit the notification button, because we archive these particular talks, the discussions with today's professionals, so that you can use them as e-learning opportunities to discuss with your young people and yourselves and have family discussions. So I'd like to welcome today to the broadcast, Mr. Imani Mason. Mr. Imani, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing?
Man, I'm sorry if I'm screaming, but I am like so excited, so pumped with this particular opportunity because we've had discussions already, and I'm so eager for you to be able to speak to our young people right now. And this is a great opportunity to catch them because we're all at home now during this global pandemic, and we're actually exercising opportunities again to be at home and to strengthen our gifts and our talents. You're a recent graduate from Tuskegee University, mechanical engineering, and so
let him tell himself. Let my second boy tell about himself.
Well, we're gonna go ahead, Dr. Doula. You go ahead and start us off. Go ahead.
So, Imani, tell us about yourself. Tell us about where you come from. If you have wonderful parents, please tell us about them. Anything you'd like to say at all.
All right. Well, my name is Imani Mason. I am a recent graduate from Tuskegee University.
Really?
For mechanical engineering, like my father said. So I did my degree within 4.5 years. You feel me? Right in time before everything started up and whatnot. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, raised in Chicago Heights, Illinois. Currently, I'm staying in Tullahoma, Tennessee. I'm working at the Arnold Air Force Base and that's my home there. I'm renting a home currently. You know, I love this opportunity. I decided to wait to purchase a home just to get to know the area a little better and whatnot. But great purchase. I love it. I love my new house. So I love it. I'm working as a mechanical design engineer with National Aerospace Solutions at the Arnold Air Force Base. So that's an awesome opportunity. Can't talk about all the details of what I do, but I do a lot of, in layman terms, pipe stress analysis, a lot of strength materials, fluid dynamics, just basically just the flow of fluids, liquids and gases through pipes and other things like that. That's the general term, but that's the general aspect of it. In addition to that, I do work a second job also because I do have a little bit of student loans that I'm attacking right now. I'm going to be knocking out all my debt by April next year. And I also do my personal brand, and I'm working on Base Iman I. Check it out. So so that's a little bit about me. So
wow. Check it out on Instagram.
So we want to make sure that before we leave this live online discussion, that you leave your handles on how people can reach out and touch touch base with you and follow you. That's one of the purpose of this as well. But, let's go ahead and also just jump in. You're a recent graduate, man, and we got young people here listening. And, this is an opportunity for you to actually speak to those that are about to enter college, those that are in college, those that just left. What are some of the things that, in this time of containment, that you're actually focusing on that will, that assists you as an emerging professional right now to kind of stay focused and keep your sanity, man? So what do you?
Well, for me, I found something that I love to do that's a passion. For me, the difference between just being good at something, like I'm good at engineering. I enjoy it. It's fun.
Is it still on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is his stuck? Is he talking? Oh, I think his went out. You bring him back. Okay. Okay, there it is.
Okay, go ahead, Imani.
Good. Okay.
I switched places with you because I wanted to be next to Mom.
No, I knew you were doing some stuff, man.
So currently, like that, what's keeping me, let's use the term sane, whatever not, is my passion. I started earlier this year, January. It's been something I was working originally on my personal IG page, and I eventually branched off to make an actual business IG page where I can promote my music and whatever else I'm working on, inspirational quotes, anything that's really on my heart, my hope. And where my vision, my eventual goal is make this into something where if it's a clothing brand, if it's to sell music equipment, I want to just let this be the foundation, because that's the whole point of what Base I is be the foundation. You know what I mean? The beginning of everything. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I just was wondering, where did you get that name, Base I? It's so smooth. It's so cool. I mean, where did that come from?
So where I got it from is my mom gave it to me, actually. So when I was a kid, we didn't know this, but we didn't have all the money coming in. You feel me? You feel me? This is before everything else. Before like the Mason Littles Dicker family really blew up and whatnot, and like really been successful. Back in the day, back me and my older brother was homeschool, she would make us shirts, like she'll buy like a blank shirt and do designs for it and all this stuff. I still have them at my house back in Chicago, and so she'll make design. And one thing she did was, if you look at my name, it's I, and I was all about the bass. This is before The Voice and all that, like puberty hit. But she just said, "Oh, you bass man, like bass I, whatever." So over time, it kind of stuck with me, and so I was like, "Dude, that's catchy. I like that." You feel me? Because when you're a kid, everybody's like, "Oh, man, all right, Mom, bass, okay, bass man, whatever." But it really is very catchy, and it's something that's original that nobody else.
All right, babe, she's over there just gloating.
She's a genius. Whoever she is, you should treat her when as you grow, and you should treat her to trips and stuff like that. I'm just gonna throw that in because that's amazing.
Well, anyway, back to the discussion. Imani, I liked where you were going, because we've gotten into this conversation a couple of times where young people, emerging professionals, are challenged about hearing things like chase your passion or work for your passion, but at the same time, you still have to provide for yourself, and coming into that state of being independent, and I like how you spoke to that one day during speaking to the Homewood Flossmoor group, the victors, and you were sharing, man, is that it's nothing wrong with working for your passion, but at the same time, the things that are good, that you're good at, your skill sets, are going to open up pathways so that you can do your passion. Go ahead and speak on that if you would.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so like I brought up, I graduated from with a degree in mechanical engineering. Is that my passion? No. Do I enjoy it? Is it fun? Yes, I'm really good at it. It was not easy per se, but it's something that I picked up through a lot of hard work and training. One specialty I did pick up while in school was with computer-aided design, called a CAD. Something else that my parents put me in when I was in high school. I never thought that I would need it. It was just a cool school to have. But by my last semester in school, I was a TA making money as a TA. You feel me? And actually really good. I had 5 jobs, and that was just one of my income. Actually, it was 2 of my income. I did private projects, CAD projects, and TA. Once again, me doing CAD was not a passion, but it was an area that I put energy and time towards. Figured I was good at it. Figured I enjoyed it a little bit, and it became a source of income. So I could invest in myself and get instruments if I wanted to invest in myself like that. Because, outside of, giving, to your community and to whatever, spiritual beliefs you have and whatnot, you also need to understand you have to invest in yourself, because that needs to be like one of the top things you invest into. But you can't invest in yourself if you don't have any liquid assets. Because nowadays it's not like it was in the old days where I'm the shirt guy and I'm gonna trade with the goat guy to get some milk, and then I'm gonna take some of that milk and give half the milk to the landscaping guy because I want to get something done with my house. Nowadays you actually need liquid assets, and that's trading. Currently, it's trading time for money. So, and of course, that's step one. You eventually want to work to where you're trading, not your time for money, but other things like, okay, if I'm the shirt guy, I don't have to be at the shirt plant making the shirts. So now I'm working $8 an hour. No, I'm actually going to sell the shirts. So it's not how many shirts I make and how much time I spend making the shirts. No, it's how many shirts I sell. So I can choose to make $100 in 1 week selling 10 shirts, or I can make $1,000 a week selling 100 shirts, and so on and so forth. And that's the beginning part of being a businessman or whatever. Not, but that's
I love this. Thank you so much for sharing this stuff, man. You hit so many different things, and with the 3H intro to pre-apprenticeship, your mom has assisted us, and she has placed her brand in everything that we do in the Little Mason household. But when we talk about the head, the heart, and the hands, you're making a great case for that as you speak about that. I'm reminded about, things that we strive for is like when we start out, we want to get paid for what we do, and then eventually graduate into getting paid for what we know. Mm-hmm. But when you're working with your head, your hands, and your heart, and you start making an impact to reach the globe from a state of purpose, then that's when you start graduating and getting paid for who you are. And I think that's one of the things that we actually try to press upon our young people when they actually partake in these pre-apprenticeship programs, not to just be contractors or working a trade, but actually getting to a place where they get to a crafted talent, to hone into those particular gifts. And so I wanted you also to speak on your entrepreneurial spirit when you were at Tuskegee. Dr. Doula, you had something? I'm sorry.
I mean, why am I here today? Like, seriously. This is like being at home where I'm just like.
Yeah, well, we just stealing it all.
Because that's your guy right there. Y'all get to talk big ball, shot collar stuff. Y'all get around talking and all of that. Before you go into the entrepreneurial stuff, what I would love is, because you talked about so many different things. I remember, like the guys are in their homeschooling now. I told them they have to do a video with me later. But I remember, you and your older brother spent the longest amount of time in homeschool. And now homeschool is everyone's word, But if I'm not mistaken, we were homeschooling in the 90s, homeschooling in the
early 2000s. Yeah. Everything was going on, and everybody. It's funny. We've done a lot to pat our own back, but we've done a lot of trend-setting things. You feel me? If it's from homeschooling, if it's from having locks. If it's from, owning the way you dress and how you look, you feel me? Now, back in the day, it was always you had to have a name brand, and it's still like that. But nowadays, there's not just one brand you can wear. And even when people make that name brand, get that name brand, so what are they doing? They're ripping it up and making it their own. And what were we doing when we were kids, especially Gino, Imani, making his own, you feel me? A lot of things that we were doing earlier than the times, you feel me? And that's why I appreciate where we're at right now, you feel me? Because there's Gino, right before he head over to Japan. I'm extremely proud of him. He's killing the game, you feel me? And so what I love about is, just in that aspect is that the point is, okay, we're doing things early in the curve, but realize that, by being part of like first tier and group of people to do things, you're going to get some slack. People are going to look at you crazy, but then everybody's going to be doing it later. You feel me? But if I started my locks when everybody else started their locks, would they be this long?
Yo,
if I started grinding and doing baseline and I when everybody else told me to do it.
I'm sorry. Please give Daddy props for starting his locks before yours. a week before yours.
Yeah, no, he did. His hair actually, no, Dad's hair grows extremely fast. Let's just give credit when credit's due.
That's what you should have done, was brought a picture up where you had your locks down your back.
Just give me some time, I'll find it.
Oh, yeah. But
it's really something. I love that you said that, because that made for a lot of challenges. Because in general, if people are doing a certain thing in the community and in the world, they notice when you do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now everybody's got packets at home or e-learning, and it's whatever. But when you are being homeschooled, especially you two oldest, who at the Tulani, Gino went through until 8th grade,
Yep.
and you started in 6th grade and transitioned into the school. That wasn't necessarily easy. It wasn't easy, because their norms and what people have done has made it seem like the things that are the norms are normal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, the norms are not necessarily what's normal, and having to navigate those things, like now it's no big deal, but back then it was like, oh gosh, what do you do all day? Oh my goodness, they're going to be socially not prepared. Oh my goodness, my favorite, Black people don't do that, and your boys. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to say it every time this man puts me on here, asks me to come on here with him. I'm going to say it, because we have to remember that the things that we have an opportunity to do right now in the earth. And I like talking to Black people, I like saying Black people. Anybody can pick up what I'm putting down, but I like saying Black people, because I think a lot of the things that are said about Black people are negative. So I like to say Black people. We have more opportunity to do things than we give ourselves an opportunity to do. Yeah. Sometimes we're waiting for permission to do it. And we say we're not, but we really are. We're waiting for it to become mainstream, to become all right. We're waiting for this person to okay this thing to become all right. Yes. But one of the things that makes me most proud about you is that you stuck with that it was a balance, homeschooling and then keeping you all in a place, keeping you in a balanced place. And I love that, anytime you are in a different environment, I'm not going to act like when you first had locks that everybody was like, ooh, Imani has locks. No, they didn't, because Imani had a baby face.
Still do.
And when he shaves all that hair off, all you see is baby face. And for a long time, people were like, wait, but girls, you need to cut his hair. Or homeschooling, like, wait, anything that you do different. And I love it. Now, my favorite thing that I'm going to talk about that you're doing different right now, and I'm so glad you don't get offended when I say this, because me and your auntie, Lisa, we talk about it. We call it tiny house living. That my husband showed the picture of his the house that he's in, and I was so shocked, because he told me, he was telling me about how he was choosing where he wanted to live. I want to live, whatever. Now this is a young man who can who has a job that can afford a lot of other different things. But he told me this place was small. And he told me there was a place, it had 3 bedrooms and this and that, but I don't need that much room. Then, Mom, I walked into this place, and it was perfect size for me. And I'm like, okay, perfect size for you. He said, the yard is jacked up, but it's the perfect size for me. And when I tell y'all, I said, okay, I hadn't seen the inside. And of course, when we walked up, I'm like, when we drove up, that yard I was like, oh my God. Yes, the yard. They had dug some stuff up, and it was just all this. I was like, whoo, okay. I don't know what the inside looks like, if it looks like this. We got inside, and what the
whole vibe changed. The whole vibe. I'm telling you.
The whole right.
It was a hidden. The whole. Telling you.
Yes, the whole vibe changed.
And I'll be quick. Basically, how it's set up is like, there was a big tree in the front yard they took out, and so they left the wood chips there, basically.
And a big old hole.
Yeah, big, basically. So if you leave the wood chips, they'll degrade over time. It's all natural, but they left the wood chips there. The driveway at first was just mud. They didn't have any gravel down, and that was really the reason I was waiting to move in. They put rocks down, whatever not. The backyard still needs more grass and everything. And so I saw it, and I'm like, Look, I know how to lay grass down. You just put down, just put down some seed. Put, if you want to put some hay over it so the birds ain't taking at the seeds, and just water it. Every now and then. It's not very hard. Grass ain't the problem.
Now tell the truth. And you said when we moved into our house, the one we lived in when when you were 3 years old, he was like, "This is what our yard looked like, kind of like this."
Oh, he did.
Yes, he didn't tell you, but that's what he said to me.
Please, especially even when Dad finally fixed it when we were younger, when we were playing outside, backseat kids, back in the day, people actually played outside. You feel me? It wasn't like we used to play in the backyard, in the front yard. No, but we used to mess up the grass anyway. So what did our mom do? She said, "Okay, that's fine, no problem. If this is what we're gonna do, okay, cool." What she did is, she had us planting new grass. You feel me? She had us watering the grass. You feel me? So that's a skill I got. Head, heart, hands. That's a skill I got because, of how I was raised up. You feel me? It's not just, okay, fine, whatever. We'll just pay somebody to fix it. No, if you gonna break it, you need to know how to fix it. You feel me? I'm not gonna stop you from being a kid and expressing how you want to live and whatever, not within certain boundaries, whatever not. But you need to understand also that you need to have those skills. Even if we take it to how my dad taught us how to put in a toilet, how to change the battery on the car.
But tell him why he had to teach you how to put in a toilet.
Because part of being a Mason is one thing we good at. If there's one thing we good at, breaking something. We can break something real easily. You feel me? I've broken plenty of things. We can just say Tuskegee. I've broken plenty of things. We're not gonna bring it up. You feel me?
Nope. Not at all.
I've broken plenty of things at Tuskegee, but at the same time, I had to fix it. You feel me? And at the end of the day, it really was a thing where you have to learn certain things. Please. Every year, starting from my freshman year till my junior year, when there was a big hole put in my wall.
Imani, so let's go ahead and
wait, babe. No, you always what? Go ahead, babe.
No. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, you do this every time. You
guys know that Tuskegee, we repping Tuskegee in the house, Tuskegee University.
All the alumni, baby.
Yeah. Class of 1993 in the house.
94. Class of 94.
You feel me? I'm T 19. So I don't care. I don't look. I got my degree in 2019. I don't
look at tell him
2019.
Tell him money.
They trying to make me class of 2020. No, I have my degree since December, bro. I made the cut. I'm not T20 now.
Hey, so go ahead, Dr. Doula, because I'm
gonna be good because I like to have a lot of fun, but you keep me on task, so you go ahead.
No, I do like the part that you asked, because again, we want to make sure that we massage and exercise in every angle.
So this is the thing, because I love the fact what my original point in that was talking about how proud I am and how he's chosen to live, and there's a reason I said that, because and I think it's relevant to the young people that will be watching, or even the parents that would be watching. I was proud when I rolled up and I saw that my young man, this number 2 of mine, had vision. And that was meaningful to me, that he wasn't just getting out and deciding to become a part of the rat race, where I'm going to look at all the money I have and I'm just going to look for the different ways that I can spend it every month. That's not what he was opting to do. He literally found a house, and our family is kind of funny.
Mind you, he's not only found a house, but he just shared with me, he said, "Dad, even at this early age, I have 3 months worth of resources through the businesses and the things that I've done set aside to help me get through this little transition." This gentleman, he just graduated in 2019.
Exactly.
And got money set aside to come out of debts. He got a plan to come out of college debt already in less than 3 or so years.
and he's prioritizing it, and that's why I brought it up, because first of all, I don't want to make it seem like, sometimes, because I share a lot about my kids, but and our family, but there are a lot of things that are private, and what I don't want to make it ever seem is that somehow, the little Masons, yeah, we don't have struggle. No, 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 no. Things get broken, things get this, things get that. There are challenges, that we have to overcome as well. But I love that he has made a decision about the kind of life that he chooses to live as he's on his own. He mentioned the stuff, breaking stuff in college. He was a full-fledged college student, no perfection, no did it all the right way. He had his experiences. He figured out, okay, oh, that worked for me. Oh, that didn't work for me. So I'm just saying that as encouragement, because I think it needs to be said that we get an opportunity, not only in this time of reset for the grown-ups, but also for the younger people. We get to choose. Imani, kind of, when did you get to your, like, I'm gonna make this happen, I'm grinding? I'm like, you weren't like that 2 years ago. I know. Was it 2 years ago? Or when did you really just like say, you know what, nope, I'm in there?
The transition happened near the end of my junior year. I just crossed, I got offline for Alpha Phi Omega. And then, I had my fun, but it just, like, I had achieved, like, one thing I do encourage people, like, if you do decide to do a process, realize that, yeah, it's the strolling, it's cool. It's all you'll get a lot of opportunities, some good, some not so healthy. But with any process, with a healthy and a good process, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn that you're more capable to do anything. You're more capable than you think you are. One conversation I do remember is when they brought my whole line into a house. This was after we finished our process, beginning my senior year, and they said, hey, y'all suck as a line, man. Where y'all at, man? Y'all not doing what y'all have to do. And they just went person by person and was saying, and I'm the tail. They got to me. They said, Imani, and this was the beginning when I really started to grind, whatever that. They said, we see you working hard. We know you working hard. Like, it's evident. We see you on campus. You always moving. You always work hard. We see you giving 100%. We're not asking you to now give 110%. You feel me? Just that little bit extra to just be around and be present and be active. You feel me? And I'm gonna tell Deshaun, he was one of my pro fights. You feel me? We bumped heads a lot every time we ever hung out. But I mean, I don't even know if he knows this, but that really, like, that touched me in a different way when he said that to me. Like, he said, he's asking 110%. You feel me?
And what does that mean, though? What does that mean when people? Because I think people feel like, I really am given, like, I'm doing all of this, I'm doing all of that, and for some people, it might feel like, okay, you just want me to get busier. What does it mean besides just becoming busier and doing more? If you're doing a lot, what does that extra look like or mean? What did it practically mean for you?
It really meant upping my efficiency. You feel me?
Okay.
It really meant using my time more wisely. You feel me? I was still transitioning from just a lot of foolishness that was going on in my life. You feel me? There was a lot going on in my life at the beginning of my senior year. And I was refining myself after losing myself and going through just
a lot.
At L after L after L after L. And on the outside, everybody saw Imani Mason. It was like, oh man, he's taking off the choir. He's a fun person. All these everything's going on. But at the end of the day, behind closed doors, and like my family, like me talking to my family, my life was not together at all. And really, I had to realize that there's only one person you can change that, and that's me. You feel me? So I just upped my efficiency. You feel me? I started off, doing like little bits here, like, let me fix my diet a little bit, everything I can. Because at Tuskegee, if you've been to Tuskegee, after 10 p.m., all you can eat is McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, we lost the food my junior year, so we didn't really have no variety. But little things in my diet, I can fix it.
Y'all had a chicken coop, right?
Yo, they don't know about no chicken coop, babe.
I don't even know
that. They didn't have Big Bear either, huh? They got Big Bear, no chicken coop.
Fixing things in my diet, and this is something I really push today. Like, I work out every day. I I am living a frugal lifestyle because I do want to have my debt paid, debt free by 23. I'm doing
That's his slogan.
that's my slogan right
Debt
now.
free by 23.
Debt free by 23. You feel me? Like, and I'll tell a little bit about my financials. You feel me? Not too much, but basically, I have about $16,000 to pay out from Tuskegee. You feel me? Granted, people say, "Oh, that's a lot." Okay, realize that Tuskegee.
And can we? Oh, wait, I just have to throw this in. This is because I'm your mother. They let these kids get these loans, but then put them on our account. This boy was bringing loans. I said, "What do you get loans for? You're an RA. You have a scholarship." He had. I'm not going to say he had so many scholarships that they would turn him away from them, but somehow he could still get them loans, and we were like, "What?"
No, and so basically, like, I did the math the other day while I was doing my taxes, and after 4.5 years of Tuskegee, that cost me $180,000.
Wow.
$180,000. Like, in case people don't realize, you can buy a home. You could, like, and depending what the market is looking like, you can buy multiple homes for $180,000. You feel me?
Talk about it.
You feel me? And so I think about all the times I'm thinking, like, dude, do you realize that how my life would be completely different if I didn't grind? You feel me? And so basically what I did, like, so for me, I have $16,000 to pay off left, which is not a problem with my current position. And with my new car that I have to I paid for some of it and I financed the rest, and I have to pay about $9,500. So I round up, basically say, with the general interest of everything.
So you bought a brand new car for?
No, actually I didn't. No, it's new to me. No, I got it.
Why not? I mean, you could have, right? Couldn't you have?
No, very easily. Like, please, like, I don't spend anywhere near what I make, because I'm thinking in my head, like, in order to and continue to invest in myself, because I've invested so far. I've invested a nice amount of, like, finances in myself to get the certain resources I need to take baseline Menai to the next level. Side note, just to bring it back to what my father brought up, it's only because I got this engineering degree. I know a lot of my peers got, and it's no shame to any other degree, but you have to be real when you go into college. And I know I'm going off on a tangent, but whatever you choose to go to college for and go to school for, please look at what your average pay is once you graduate. You feel me? Some people come out a little higher. Some people go out a little lower. I know some of my peers, who just graduated 6 months ago and already have a home, not renting, bought a home. You feel me? And they're, like, making ridiculous amount of money. But in the balance of it, the more money you make, the more, the more commitment you have to make to that career, to that job, whatever you do. You feel me? So for me, I decided to take, well, I'm not gonna lie, it's a good salary, but the thing is, though, I did not decide to take positions that were in the 90s, because I realized that engineering is not where I want to just put 100% of my energy, where I want to put 100% of my energy, to bring it back to that. You feel me? I realized that there's only so much I can do. You feel me? I learned that from my last semester in school when I had 5 jobs. I was an RA, I was a TA, I did research, and I was a
president of the choir.
You feel me? Like that? Yeah. Well, my very, very last semester, I was a paid musician for the choir, and also I did outside gigs here and there, whatever that. So that, yeah, all right.
And you had your business doing your locks.
And so I had Sweet Rose. Basically, I was.
And who taught you? And who taught you how to do your locks, bruh? Well, that's okay. Don't tell them.
Well, like, look. My mom taught me my freshman, sophomore year of high school. And she, like, granted, she was getting her EDD at the time, so she got too busy to twist her locks. So I learned how to do my locks, and I started to do my brother's.
And then he started coming with his own little way. You go, boy. You better take it up a notch, Sweet Rose.
You feel me? So that my dad actually gave me that name. So Sweet Rose is the business. You feel me? Because he'd be like, those are tight, Dad. Those are sweet, Dad. Like, so he like he gave me the idea. So
man, Imani, here it is, man. I'm just really flabbergasted, and I don't know, maybe my wife can take all the credit. I know I can't take all the credit, but just you and your spirit, you have the opportunity to be like on the Fortune 500, emerging professional in corporate America, but to hear that you're strategically setting yourself up to make sure that you leave a sustainable impact, you're not giving yourself all over to corporate, realizing that there is something in this world, a stated purpose that you want to touch. And that's the only thing that's all that we talk about, as when we relate to the students in the pre-apprenticeship workshop. Skill sets assist you with unlocking your crafted talent. And everybody has a crafted talent or have crafted talents. And those talents are used in order for you to make an impact, leaving a sustainable pathway for the next generation, and that thing rolls over. That's what societies did, indigenous societies did. And that's why we're dealing with so many crises that we are dealing with today. So I just wanted to thank you for taking, these lessons learned, and you're actually exemplifying them and taking it to a whole nother level. And I appreciate that, all those abilities and lessons that you learned from me and your mom, during the homeschool days, you turned around and went to college and was making businesses out of them.
Exactly.
And was making money while you were being educated. So you had the money to do the things that you wanted to do, which actually provided you with the mindset that when you were ready to really turn the gears into play and get on your grind, you turn that into a discipline to financially create an avenue for you to really soak into some of the things that you feel passionate about. Yeah. But it was a process. As I'm hearing, as you guys are talking, it was a process.
That's right. And I think sometimes people we want our kids, and I just wanted the moment to say this. I know you're about to wrap up. Yeah. I think, especially now, I worked in the classroom. I worked in the public and private setting. I'm going to keep reminding people so people know that I am speaking of a place of knowing and not just a great idea. And for some parents, they are just really getting to see what the teachers have been dealing with their students in the classroom. And sometimes it can feel really challenging, to see what one kid was doing and like, wow. And to have to to think wait, oh man, then, we can start feeling certain ways about that. But what I remember when this young man used to go around, I'm one of those people, I believe in looking for the skills and talents in my kids, and then help pointing them towards things to see if it confirms with them. And I remember when Imani would be around, and if we purchased a little science kit or something, he always drew to it. Tulani, Gino never did. Gino was looking at hieroglyphics and stuff, languages and music, was his girlfriend, the whole nine, whatever.
Right.
But Imani was, he would see something that said, okay, this is a magnet. And you would go through, and I swear there were things where they had strings in that kit and ropes and stuff. You would walk through a door and Monty had set a booby trap and you didn't even know. Because Monty had something hanging from the whatever, had wrapped it around the thing, had done the other thing over here, and you walk through that door and you just about to get it. And he said, okay. You would find, things just, he would be testing things. Okay, well, is this metal then? Is this metal? He was doing these things all the time, and had a chance to what was it, Project Lead the Way in high school when they first started it at your school. I was like, Monty, maybe you would be good in engineering. I'm saying that to say, don't, one of the things that I think our modern society has done is convinced us that we don't know and really don't have as much to offer our children as we do. I tell mothers,
about it, doctor.
I tell mothers, we always talk about mothers, being the first teacher. It is true. And I understand, many of moms have to go out. I'm a birth worker. So many moms have to leave out so many weeks after their babies are born. And it's like, well, this, that, and the other. You started teaching that baby in your womb.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember him in my womb. They start paying attention to things in the womb. They know our voices in the womb. They prefer us when they come out of the womb. Okay? You're not only the first teacher, you're the first healer. So what you're feeding them while they're at home. You're the one that you're the first one that's doing that. Don't ever let anybody come and tell you that you are not equipped to teach your own babies. Yes, there are skill sets. I happen to be a math teacher, and I have a math degree as my undergraduate degree. I started in engineering and electrical engineering and finished in math after doubling and whatever else. But that did not help. I still had to learn how to teach my different children, because my oldest did not learn math like this one did. He was more on like my level of thinking of things. And then my next ones didn't learn the same way. I just want to tell you and remind you, the resources are there that haven't been there before. You literally, when we were in school, Imani, what were we doing? Them old floppy disk things and the computers.
And the easy ball.
Easy ball, that was your favorite, the easy ball. This big...
They don't know about this is before they were publishing like homeschooling methods. You had to make your own homeschool. You had to buy. Oh, this is the third grade textbook for math and English and social studies and sciences and everything. Like, okay, doing research, not online, because this is before the internet. Big, going to libraries and whatnot, looking for different books for us to read and all these different things to help us be on par when it's time, when it was our time to start public school and whatnot.
And reading and how I read to you all, because a lot of times people think that when kids start reading on their own, that somehow they don't still need to be read to. Do you remember me reading the entire Chronicles of Narnia?
Yeah.
And asking you all, draw me what you hear. Simple things like that deal with reading comprehension. Draw with this story, the horse and his boy. I don't remember the names now. The line, of course, the first one being The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Right.
But all of the different things that we did in order to open up the world to you, to allow you to continue to discover, and I just wanted to take, I know I took like 5 or 10 minutes, 6 minutes to say that.
No, take your time.
But it's so important during this time where we are with our families, many of us, not all of us, because some of us are still working and are outside of the house. But for those that are at home that are frustrated, my South African sister, Zile, I was telling her about some struggles of something once. And she just said to me, sis, go to freedom. Go to freedom. Some of you all are trying to imitate what you have seen in a classroom designed for 30 students.
Mm-hmm.
When you are right there and you can go, you can open your imagination again that has also been closed down. You can think, wait, they really like this. This one really likes flowers. Why are you reading about flowers when it's spring? Go outside. Show them the tree. How many times did I say, we have to go outside, the flowers are blooming?
Oh, and my favorite, go out and play in the rain and the mud and bring it back in the house.
But it was amazing. I have pictures of Imani and Chino, and they were like, we would go out, of course, if there's no lightning, but I would send them outside in torrential rains. Go feel that. Go feel what that feels like. And remember the picture where he's standing there with the stick over his head. Imani loved that stuff. He would hold it over his head like triumphant, like I did it. Soaked, just being soaked. Where's your imagination?
Exactly.
Where's your imagination? Get your imagination back for your kids, because sometimes the things we have to do as educators, and look at my boom booms. Look at my boom booms. The things that we have to do.
I'm weak. Send me that picture. I'm weak. I ain't this picture in years, dude.
I know. The things that we have to do as educators in a classroom are for accountability that all of you all say you want. Unfortunately, those same things do not always play into exploring all of the areas that we can with your children. Okay. So I just wanted to say that, like, go to
Yes.
freedom. Go to
Dr.
freedom.
Dr. Rob said, bring the mud back in the house. Robert Watts, our friend, he said, bring the mud back into the house.
Yes.
Hey, you know,
Come on,
Dr.
Mud.
Doula,
Wait, you got to say what it means.
yes,
My
mud,
unique design.
Yes.
my
That
unique
we're
design.
gonna talk to them later. We're gonna be able to talk to them on another day. But my unique design, my sister Natalie Watts and her husband, they do amazing work, have done amazing work. Natalie talks about mud works, and mud is MUD, my unique design works. So I just wanted to say that. I'm gonna give it over to you now, babe. Um, you all make sure you check out Imani. Imani started playing the bass, not the acoustic, not the electric bass, but he started playing the upright acoustic bass when he was 7, and
Yeah.
it
So
wasn't easy.
the electric bass, I started that at 7, but soon
Oh,
afterwards,
7.
when I was 9 years old, that's when I started the stand-up bass.
That's right. That's right.
So we're
Get me
gonna let
right.
Imani close out with leaving information about how people can get in contact with him. But before we do, I do want to make a plug out and just continue to encourage our family and friends and students that Dr. Doula and myself, Coach Green Jean, are periodically going to post these e-learning opportunities with today's professionals, leaving strategies and insight and tools for our young people and families based on how to leave a sustainable impact for the next generation. And so please go to YouTube and subscribe to Coach Green Jean. Um, subscribe and hit the notification button so you can be notified when we post these videos, and you can use these as learning opportunities, and we archive all these particular discussions online on the playlist Paper versus Paper. We've talked to architects, we talked to clothing designers, we talked to general contractors, activists, and we still have some amazing people on our platform ready in line. Like Dr. Doula was saying, we're expecting to host Dr. Robert and Natalie Watts. We're going to be talking with this Saturday live, DeLynn and DeAndre Hudson. We're going to, where he's a tech professional, and she has just authored her first book about the mothering of 10 children. We're
My
also going to be
girl.
speaking,
I
man,
got babies.
we're also going to be speaking with the Pollards. They're going to be joining us on this Sunday. Next week, we also have a very special friend, Mr. Evan Roberts with the Kahari Discovery Books. He's a special guest, and we have so many more people that are lined up. So please take this opportunity to go to YouTube and subscribe and hit the notification button to Coach Green Jean, where you can
And follow
use,
follow it on Facebook as well, so it'll give you a
yes,
notification.
also on Facebook, Coach Green Jean, and Instagram. So Imani, go ahead and close us out, man. Let us know about you, sir.
Okay, well, if you would like to see some of my music and any inspiration that may come through music or through quotes and whatnot, you can check me out on Instagram, bass_IMANI. So that's BASS_IMANI. And soon you'll be able to also find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube as well. So just keep an eye on that, but you'll see all that through the Instagram. And just some closing remarks I did say, just remember to don't just be at 100%, be at 110%. I live by the saying, it's hard to be the best, because if everyone was doing it, it's hard to be the best.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait, I got to interrupt you. You say this to us on a regular. You can't say nothing to Imani without him saying it, and you got the nerve to say it right.
All right, no, so I live by it's hard to be the best. If it was easy, everybody be doing it. You feel me? And that's not the statement to pump me up or to pump just my family up. That's to pump everyone up, to realize that if you really want to be the best, life is not supposed to be easy, especially during these younger years when you're building a foundation of what you want to do for the rest of your life, because it's not eternity, not on this plane, not in this dimension. It's for finite amount of time, so use it wisely. The 20s is not the time to party. The 20s is time to set a foundation for what you want to do. That's physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, everything. You want to make sure to build relationships and really grow. So it's hard to be the best. It was easy. Everybody be doing it. Be great, y'all.
And
Excellent.
I just like to say before you close out, I'm extremely proud of you. Just know that as we always have, you have a support system. Your father and I have worked over the years to make sure that we gave you a springboard. And it's not only us in this physical realm, but those who've gone before. Continue to be the best at being you, because there are others your brothers are following, your brothers are watching you. And hopefully you'll create even a small springboard for them to leap onto. We love you so, so much. Thank you for spending time with us today. You
No
are
problem.
a blessing to us.
Thank you.
Yes, you are, man. Thank you so much, Imani. Thank you guys for joining us for another online discussion, paper versus paper. And we encourage you guys to look, live, and love. And man, you guys look beautiful over there on that. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. Everybody take care. Have an amazing day.
Great now.
See ya.
Bye.